All right, team. Good afternoon. This is Jordan, and here I'm hoping to give you guys a few tools, so that way you can not necessarily spend so much time on the administrative task of creating a slide deck and those types of things, but by reducing the time that you spend on creating a slide deck, you can then spend more time studying the material and being a more effective teacher. And so, with that, this is an AI tool that I would hope that you would consider to use. You don't have to, obviously, um, but this is an option for you. The benefits of this is that you can create really good slide decks, and also you can feed it the correct source of information. So that way it's not hallucinating things. And it's called a closed source AI, which means whatever information you upload is what it draws from, and that's it. So that's one of the perks of this tool called Gemini Notebook. Um, so here, if you wanted to pull it up, you can just go to Google, Gemini Notebook LM, and then I'm going to click here. And as long as you have a Gmail account, then you can go through, click your try Gemini Notebook, and it'll bring you to this page. You'll next go to the bottom left, and you're going to click Create New Notebook. Boom. Now I'm creating something new. This right here is where you'll see that you're going to feed it the sources. So if I were a Sunday school teacher, then I can go to the church's website, pull up this week's Come Follow Me lesson, and then I can click this three dots, go down to download, and I'm just going to download this page. And then I'll go through and I'll save that in my files. Now, once I've done that, now I have this PDF to upload as one of my sources. So I'm going to go back to this untitled notebook, and I'm just going to title it Sunday School Lesson. Cool. I'll go through, I'll add my source, and I'm going to upload. It shows right here, August 27th, or correction, July 27th to August 2nd. Upload that, and now you can see it's buffering, as in it's uploading. Over here is where you're going to see all the tools and options that you have. So if you yourself would like to do a deeper dive with an audio, then when this starts to let me after it's uploaded this source, you'll see that you can create like a little podcast. So if this is something you wanted to listen to back and forth on your drive to and from work or to school, you now have that option. You can also go through here and create your slide deck. And what's important to note on all of these tools is that the prompt that you give it will be the deciding factor on the quality that it outputs. So if you kind of give just a buns prompt and just say, hey, give me a slide deck, it's going to do that, but it's not going to be elevated to the level that I'd hope all of you could see with a tool like this. And what I mean by that is if I want this slide deck to be a good overview on these lessons, then I'd go through and say, create a slide deck based on the Come Follow Me and ensure there is an emphasis on building on what distractions the adversary may tempt someone who is commanded by the Lord to lead. So if that's the thing that I am spiritually prompted to focus on in my lesson, then feed those thoughts and those desires into your prompt. And you can go through and make edits later if it doesn't quite hit what you wanted or what you expected. You have to remember that each of you are called and set apart, given specific priesthood blessings in conjunction with your calling. So in order to remember that, you also then have to remember that AI is not to supplement those spiritual promptings that you have that are given to you via the blessings in your setting apart, right? Like you need to write these things down and then implement them into AI, not let AI generate them for you. If you wanted, you can then go through and put, I want this to be designed for a 40-minute lesson. Boom. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to let it start doing its thing. If I wanted to add other bonus sources, then you can come in here and do a Book of Mormon, right? I already previously downloaded the PDF, but if you wanted to, go through, download it for yourself, and then upload that as a source. And then you'll go through and have that as an option. The other things that you can do, so just so you know, I'm moving on while I'm waiting. So this is going to take a couple minutes to actually generate, and that's because it's doing a deep dive on this PDF that we uploaded. It's doing a deep dive on the Come Follow Me, and then it's going to generate it based on that. And you can see here that it says based on one source. So this is the only source it's pulling from. Now to go through, say you wanted to do some Kahoot. You know, maybe you're really feeling like you're going to steal Kendra's style, which honestly I think that it's top tier, so I think it should be considered. Then you can go on to just regular Gemini, and then you can say, go through, upload the file, the same file that we used for the Come Follow Me that we downloaded. You can come here and now say, generate 20 Kahoot style questions with each answer giving a source citation from the scriptures and Book of Mormon. Awesome. Now it's going to go through and start doing that, right? At this point, obviously, it's doing its little thinking. Okay, and now you have all of these with your actual source citation, okay? And then it'll be up to you to go through and just double check your answers, right? You want to ensure that you're not getting being boozled by AI because it happens from time to time. But this is also a good opportunity just for you to go do a little quick deep dive, right? You're being pointed to the water, so just go ahead and drink it. You know what I'm saying? Now that I've got these generated, I could just pop right over to Kahoot. Okay. And then create a free account if you don't already have one, right? Sign up for free. I'm going to say I'm a teacher. I work for a school. That might be a lie, but it's irrelevant. And then I'm going to sign in with my Gmail account. Let's see if it's going to let me do it. Awesome. So now you can come up into your top right corner. You can create your short interactive lesson. And then boom, you can either upload your PDF that you wanted to use before, if that's something you want, or you can just create a blank. And that's where I can go here and see the things that we generated, right? And I can just copy and paste and throw things in. So now that super long drawn out version of having to do billions of years of planning, you can now cut that time down because you're being helped in that admin task of planning and thinking all of these little minute things through. You can have AI do that while you focus on double checking the answers, guiding the lesson in which you have prepared, and then at that point, you know, you'll have your Kahoot flashcards. You'll now be able to go back to this. Oh, and it's actually still generating based on that source, so it might take it a minute. But these are just some of the things that you can start considering doing. Back on here, while this is still generating those slide decks, if you yourself want to do a deep dive into the material, then you can do this. It's an AI audio overview, and it gives you all of these different prompts, right? So if you wanted to have a lively conversation between two hosts that's unpacking these topics, dude, you can literally create a podcast that you can go and listen to while you're driving home. If you wanted it to be short, boom, then you can go through and say, this is now a brief bite sized overview to help you grasp the core ideas pretty quick. Use this as a study tool, not only for scripture, but in real life. And then go through and just explain exactly what you want. Tell it what you want. I want to learn more about the kings and leaders involved in this week's lesson. Include the book of as a source to fill in any gaps not mentioned in the come follow me lesson, but could be pertinent to the deeper doctrine. Cool. Now I'm going to start generating that, and it'll work on that in the background. And then when you guys go through and see, you'll be able to see the fact that these things are just boom, they're just right there. Easy, quick, and available for you to start learning a little bit faster, start creating some of these things faster, and then obviously spend more time on the material itself rather than doing some of this administrative work. So hopefully you got something out of this. Go ahead and feel free to give me a call. My number's on Tools if you have any questions. If Tools or my phone number doesn't work, just hit me up on GroupMe.